In today's session, we will learn about an organelle called the plastid. Now, plastids are unique to plants. These organelles are now not found in any other organism other than plants and algae. Eukaryotic unicellular organism. Eukaryotic unicellulars. And the only two eukaryotic unicellular organisms are plants and algae. So only these two organisms have this organelle called plastids. Now plastids again are made up of a membrane. They have a membrane, and we'll look at the structure in a little while when we proceed a little further. The second thing that you should know about plastids are that there are three types of plastids. The first type of a plastid is called the chloroplast, the second is called chromoplast, and the third is called a leucoplast. Now let us break down these words. Chloroplast. Now the plastid called the chloroplast, this word is made up of two words, chloro and plast. So plast stands for plastids and chloro stands for chlorophyll. Now I hope you remember that this pigment is involved in photosynthesis. This pigment traps the sunlight, and then using the energy of the sunlight, it combines carbon dioxide gas with water to make food, and that food is called glucose. The formula for glucose is C6H12O6. Along with this, during the process of photosynthesis, water, some amount of water and a lot of oxygen is also liberated. Now this process is called photosynthesis. And where does this take place? It takes place in the chloroplast. So this organelle called plastid, which type of a plastid? Chloroplast, is responsible for photosynthesis. So photosynthesis takes place in an organelle called chloroplast, and this is how a chloroplast actually appears. We'll look into chloroplast in greater details in just a little while. Important thing to know about chloroplast: it contains chlorophyll. This is the site where photosynthesis takes place, and it produces and stores glucose. So not only is glucose produced in chloroplast, but also it is stored inside the chloroplast. The second type of a plastid is called a chromoplast. Now the word chromo means color. Now you must be wondering, chloroplast also has some color. It is green in color because the pigment chlorophyll is green. So how are chromoplasts different? Chromoplasts contain pigments. Now what are pigments? A pigment is a water soluble colored chemical compound, chemical substance. So chlorophyll is a kind of a pigment. Now coming back to chromoplasts. Now chromoplasts contain pigments other than chlorophyll. They do not contain chlorophyll, but they contain other colored substances such as xanthophyll or carotene. Now carotene is easier to remember because it is found in carrots, and carrots appear red because of carotene. Carotene is also found in tomatoes. So the second type of plastids are called chromoplasts. We'll see what their functions are in just a while. The third type of plastids are called leucoplasts. Now the word leuco means colorless. No color. So these plastids do not have any color, which means they do not have any pigment in them. They do not have any chemical which is colored. So here are the three. So this is what a chloroplast appears like. This is a chromoplast, and this is a leucoplast. But what are the functions of the three? So let us move a little further and let me show you chromoplasts first. Let us start with chromoplasts. Now you see we have here capsicum, which has a green color, and then here we have got something called as a bell pepper, which is red in color. Now if we magnify, let me magnify this a little more. If we magnify, I'll show you the cells. Here is a plant cell. You can see this is the cell wall, with the cell membrane. This is the outer part, and here these green dots that you see, yellowish green, these are not exactly green, they are yellowish green. These are chromoplasts. If you look at this other image here, from the skin of the bell pepper, from the outer covering of the bell pepper, you can see the red colored dots, and these are again plastids which contain the red pigment called carotene or some other pigment, and these are chromoplasts. Now you must be wondering, what is the function of chromoplasts in a plant? What functions do they serve? Now, why are fruits uh, brightly colored? Why do you think are fruits brightly colored? Any idea? So if you don't have an idea, I'll give you an idea. The fruits are colored to attract animals, so that animals can find the fruits and eat them away. And once they eat them away, on the inside are seeds which the animal either swallows or spits away. For example, the seed of a mango cannot be swallowed, it is spit away by the animal. And the seeds that are swallowed, I hope you have realized the seeds have a very tough outer cover. So the seeds that are swallowed are not digested by the animal, but they are also pushed out of the body in feces. So once these seeds reach the ground, they can make new plants. And you see how smart the plants are, and the function of chromoplast. So if it was not for chromoplasts, the fruits will not be consumed, will not attract as many animals as they do, and the seeds will not get an opportunity to move across in a wide area. Another function of the chromoplast, see, another part of the plant that has a lot of chromoplast are the flowers. Now flowers are also colored, they are not necessarily green. Flowers come in variety of colors. You've got red and blue and yellow and purple and so many other magnificent colors. Now all of these colors that the flower has is because of the presence of these organelles called chromoplasts. Now can you ponder for a moment, think for a moment, why flowers are colored? The flowers are colored to attract insects and even small birds, in some cases even bats. Right? So when these insects and birds and bats reach the flower also offers them food in the form of something called as nectar. And when the insects move inside, they will go for the hunt of this nectar, and they will bring along pollen. I'm sure you've studied these in your previous classes, but we will anyways talk about this in the future sometime. So these pollens are transferred from one flower to the other so that the plants can make new plants, right, for reproduction. Anyways, so much for the function of chromoplasts. So chromoplasts serve two functions: the dispersal of seeds by attracting animals to fruits, and second is pollination, the spread of pollens from the male flower to the female flower. So this is the function of chromoplasts. Where are chromoplasts found? In fruits and in flowers. Let's look at the next one, leucoplast. Now leucoplasts are colorless plastids. They are colorless. Well, what is the purpose of them being colorless? So here we have an image from the microscope, from under a microscope, and we have cells from a potato. So you can see these cells here and these cells here, and inside the cells, can you see these vacuoles, these bags? These bags have no color, but they serve an important function. Leucoplasts store food material such as starch, etc. So their primary function is to store starch. Also, you must be wondering that what is the difference between a leucoplast and a vacuole? How is a vacuole different from a leucoplast? Now, this is the time when we can discuss one of the features, one of the very important characteristics of plastids. Plastids, don't be confused. Plastids are of three types: chloroplast, chromoplast, and leucoplasts. So leucoplasts are a type of plastids. So plastids have a very unusual property, very similar to the mitochondria. And that property is that plastids, like mitochondria, contain their own DNA and also have their own ribosomes. I want you to think why they have their own DNA and ribosomes. Right? We have already discussed it in the class. I would wish you to think about it, and we'll speak about it tomorrow in the classroom. Let's go to the third kind. Now we've done leucoplasts and we've done chromoplasts. Let's go to chloroplasts now. We've done a bit about chloroplasts. Let's go to something else. Oh, chloroplast. Let's watch a clip. And here is a clip for you guys. Let's watch this clip about chloroplasts and see how they work. So I'll be giving you a little running commentary about it once this thing plays. It'll just take a teeny weeny moment. So here what we see in the video, let me start it from the beginning. So what we see in the video, this is a plant cell. This is a big plant cell, one cell. And inside the plant cells, these green discs, these green spherical structures are chloroplasts, so many of them. And the amazing thing is that all of them are moving. Why are they moving? I hope you remember cytoplasmic streaming. The cytoplasm is moving like a river. So these chloroplasts move from one place to the other. But why do they move? They move to the place where they have the best amount of sunlight. Not too bright and not too dark. So these chloroplasts are moving from one place to the other, not mindlessly, but very thoughtfully. Now you also might have another question. What is moving them? So it's the moving cytoplasm. Now, can you see these tiny little dots around the chloroplast? Now, a lot of people in this video have asked this question, what are these dots? Now, my best guess is that these are tiny little bacteria who are moving around the chloroplasts. Why? Because photosynthesis is taking place around the chloroplasts. Photosynthesis is taking place inside these chloroplasts, and during the process of photosynthesis, a lot of oxygen is released, and these microorganisms, they are making use of this particular oxygen. So that is my best guess. Some people are saying some other things about it. Some people are saying that these are tiny little vesicles inside of which nutrients, which is basically glucose or starch, is being packed and transported to different places. But my best guess is that these are bacteria which are using oxygen. So anyways, coming back from here, so I hope you've understood what photosynthesis is, what chloroplasts are, and let's go back to our slide. Yeah. So I hope you've understood what plastids are and what are their different types and what are the functions that they perform. Thank you.